Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. And, one of the things I love about being a gamer is watching the industry grow, right? Watching it blossom, watching it make its way through puberty into being an adult. Or that's just me. But the point is, I've always enjoyed watching where the industry goes. It's one of the reasons why I tune into the trade shows and I pay attention to the news. I just like to see, the advancements, right? Because I'm definitely a forward thinker in that front. But one of the issues that comes from loving the games industry as much as I do is that you get to see the negative side of it. And oftentimes the very, very forward facing part of this, the very public, the very popular thing to discuss are always corporations acting like complete dickholes and hurting the consumers, right? And hurting the customers. And we always hear stories about how, publishers are cutting out content in order to sell DLC or really invasive microtransactions or all of those things that most of us generally tend to absolutely fucking hate. We all dislike it. But what about the other side of that? What about when it's an individual that's hurting a company? We don't hear much about that, even though piracy is a rampant thing. And a lot of people like to argue, myself included, that piracy ultimately doesn't hurt these big corporations because it serves as to act as a demo, to serves as an act as a way for them to experience the property before buying it. And many people who are pirates actually do end up purchasing the games. That's what some studies have said. I do know people that do pirate and never buy anything. And I know people who don't ever pirate and buy everything. So there are extremes on either sides, but I think most people kind of fall into the middle. And I think as gaming moved away far and further away from demos, we saw this particular aspect rise. But there's a couple different stories recently that came out showcasing the human element of attacking these companies for profit and hurting them. One of the ones recently was Nintendo ended up winning a $12 million lawsuit against a married couple, who were running a ROM website that was selling ROMs, and they had to pay out 12 million. Do they have the money? No, but they wanted to make an example of this couple as a result of that. We know Epic Games goes after people on Fortnite all the damn time. And it's frustrating because of how they go after them all the damn time. Fortnite streamers or Fortnite hacks or whatever, because they know that's their $1 billion a year industry and that they want to protect it. But this one is interesting because it's all about a guy hacking a game that no one fucking liked. Now, an Oregon man who hacked into a zombie themed video game has been sentenced to probation. Yeah, an Oregon guy, right? Gets sentenced to probation for hacking into a video game. This is my neck of the woods, being from the Pacific Northwest, but the story is fascinating. Now, a Portland man accused of obtaining unauthorized access to software supporting a zombie-themed survival video game and then creating a competitor online game was sentenced after he pled guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States. Brent Junker, 29 years old, who went by the alias The Domo and the Russian Knight, hacked into the server of Los Angeles-based OP Productions and its game The War Z to create a competitor game, the TYZ or TWZ Emulator. Now, that's the thing with this is for one, the War Z, when it came out, and I mean, like, just for the sake of an example given here, this is the Wikipedia page for the controversies for the War Z, right? The game has horrible microtransactions. The executive producer referred to spawn campers as faggots. And then it was just, they tried to downplay that by saying that it's just an inappropriate choice of words. Back in 2012, the United States Patent and Trademark Office sent a letter to the publisher and developer stating that the request to trademark the name The War Z had been suspended because it was too close to the upcoming movie World War Z. And they've gone through all of these problems with the game, all of these issues with the games over the course of the past 6 years, and it got just lambasted by the media. It got lambasted by all the games press because it's just terrible. They went and they rechanged the name The Infestation, but that didn't stop Brent here from hacking in and creating a competitor by stealing the source code. Now it says here that Junker, who is disabled and has a live-in caretaker, got the username and password of the president from OP Productions and used it to gain unauthorized access to his email on the company's servers, according to a U.S. assistant attorney. He also solicited donations from players and supporters through PayPal, according to the FBI. According to OP Productions, they suffered losses of $132,500. $132,000 was lost from this company. Now, listen, the company made a crap game, and some dude broke in, somehow getting the CEO's or the president's email and password. Okay, that's, I guarantee you it was more like, what was your first dog's name or something, right? Very similar to how Sarah Palin had her email hacked, her Yahoo account hacked, because one of the security questions was, what was the name of your grandfather? And then in a wiki bio, they found the name of her grandfather. It was one of those things. Probably something similar to that here. And then the guy took the information and created a competitor with their material. That is, look, that is smart. I'm not condoning it by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not condoning it at all, but it's a smart play. It is a smart thing to do. And he got busted, hardcore busted for it. $132,000 is no small amount of money. But they didn't sentence him to jail, which you figured they would have, given the fact that they're cyber crimes and everything else. Now, the U.S. District Judge Michael H. Simon Friday sentenced Junker to 3 years probation and ordered him to complete 100 hours of community service in a program approved by his probation officer. Junker's attorney suggested Junker might volunteer at Portland's Free Geek, a Southeast Portland electronics thrift shop, recycling center, and computer training hub. As conditions of his probation, Junker will be subject to searches of his computer data storage and devices to have undergo substance abuse tests and a mental health treatment program. His probation officer will also be allowed to search his apartment if reasonable suspicion arises that he has violated his terms of probation, the judge says. Now, his lawyer, and this is where it gets interesting, the lawyer here says her client's IQ is extremely low. He's illiterate and has a very poor short-term memory. She urged the judge not to impose home detention on Junker, saying isolation would really not help him. This offense really involved being isolated and being connected to online virtual relationships. Now, look, I will fully agree that online virtual relationships do kind of rule the roost in many of these cases. But this is a guy who was able to gain access through getting the OP Productions president's email and password to go in to steal the data, to create an emulator, to create a competitor, to solicit donations via PayPal. This is not a low IQ individual. Does he maybe have crippling, debilitating autism? Maybe, but a low IQ individual to go do that shit? Hell no. Hell no, that's not no low IQ. Come on. Come on, they're trying to like Sling Blade this guy or Forrest Gump this guy on everybody, right? That's what they're trying to. No, you can't do that. This dude legitimately committed crimes. In the Or's like he's low IQ. He's low IQ. If that's the case, man, I'm gonna go rob a bank and just go no, I just like in play. I'm kidding, obviously being hyperbolic, but that is, come on. This dude stole stuff, created a competitor to fuck over a company that was already hated, right? Which is probably why in the gaming community, this dude's got a lot more support. But I'll tell you this. I went to go look up what the TWZ emulator looked like. I can't find anything on it. No images. I can't find any videos on it. It's been scrubbed from the web. Now, granted, this was a long time ago. But it's been scrubbed from the web to the best of my ability to find what it looks like. So I can't show you guys any of the comparison images between the two. But the Infestation is not a good game. The War Z was a controversy contrived property 6 years ago. This dude found a way to totally screw them over for $130,000. Now, will OP Productions get any kind of violins, from people? Will they get any kind of sympathy from the gaming community? And the answer to that is no, they won't. They really won't. That's just not going to happen. But Junker might, because he found a way to screw them over. One of the things gamers hate is they really don't like shit games. They don't like shit indie games. All right, we know this. We know this quite a bit. And so I probably in many people's eyes, Junker, low IQ Junker, probably is a hero to them for finding a way to screw a company like that over. But that's not the right course of action. Look, Junker's clearly has enough of a mental capacity and the mental capability and the programming knowledge to create a competitor. So why not take that energy, refocus it, re-put it on something else, and make his own game and then make his own money. Now he's got the popularity to do it. He could probably actually raise the money right now to create some kind of online competitor, not zombie themed. Obviously, I would never touch that again, but it could be like, Purple Rainbow Frog themed or something, right? Like you're on an acid trip in a weird far off land, and these purple rainbow frogs are trying to kill you all the time, and you have to survive somehow. I'm pretty sure gamers would probably give this guy money just as a simple fuck you to OP Productions. Most likely. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'll follow the story to the best of my ability. But be sure to leave your comments below. What do you guys think about this? Do you think he's a hero or is he the villain here? It's a legitimate question. I am curious to know your thoughts. So go ahead and write them down in the comments. If you haven't already, please thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you made it this far, type in zombie in the chat so I know. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day and peace out.